got that disappointing news early about an hour ago. Nigeria's manufacturing activity measured by what you call the Purchasing Managers Index fell to 54.0 reading last month. That last month was just 24 hours ago, by the way. That's down from 48.8 in the month of April, according to FBN Quest. 4 of the 5 sub-indices measured fell into negative territory. The report says that despite the pickup in business confidence due to rapid sale of FX into the market by the central bank, Nigeria's quote, household pockets remain squeezed. That is the inner pocket here. Remain really squeezed. So that's the bad news this morning. So let's put that into conversation as we look at how energy costs are feeding into the inflation we have on our hands and the prices at which you get your local goods, products, or commodities in general. We're talking about petrol, diesel, kerosene, and what's cooking with cooking gas. And I get a lot of conversation around the cooking gas around. Amaka Ajewu is back here. Tuesday, we spoke about the breakfast, lunch, and dinner table as to what happened to prices. Good morning. Sorry, my manners here. So, today we're back to energy costs. Kerosene, very stubborn. Petrol, well, thank you, relatively stable.
Yes.
Diesel, I saw 170 per litre somewhere, and folks says it's heading back to 190, perhaps above. That's bad news.
Yes, it is. And usually we typically focus on the consumer price index, but diesel prices also affect the producer's price index because it affects their cost of production, it affects their cost of alternative power. And if we even look back to power supply isn't doing great in the country right now. We're down to about a little over 3,700 megawatts at the grid from hitting 4,000 a few days back. So right now the energy market is a little bit troublesome in the fact that prices are increasing and power isn't doing great at the moment.
That's the bad news, right?
Yeah.
You folks always have this two-page, two-faced thing, bad news, good news from you and your team. Yeah. That's the bad news. The budget is here to be, there's a delay in the budget?
Yes, they are sent to the budget.
Yes, and in terms of power, you say we lost about 282 megawatts of power. Diesel price is still negative for PPI, right?
Yes, it's still negative.
For producers' price index.
Yes, and also for the consumers as well, because it affects how we fuel our generators. It affects also distribution of goods and services, because most of these distribution trucks utilize diesel to power their trucks. So yes, so all round the energy market isn't looking too good for both the consumers and the producers. Yeah,
you know, not looking good at all. Yeah. Whether you're putting the diesel in the generator, or you're using diesel to power the truck that loads petrol, or even load diesel itself.
And even loads the commodities, so the tomatoes, the rice, the
agri products from the farms to towns and cities.
Yes.
And whether you're refrigerating them or not, that's another cost. Very sticky issue here. Do you think the PMI latest is any disappointing news for you as a research analyst?
Yes, so first of all, we're still in the positive expansionary region, so that's good news. But the only problem is that we can see a squeeze in activity in that manufacturing sector. And our analysis at the FDC think tank leads us to believe that, okay, you know, dating back to February 20th when the CBN began their injections into the markets, everyone was, because it's a novelty, so everyone was excited. So people were funding their dollar positions with the available naira that they have. So right now, we believe that manufacturers have come to establish a sense of predictability in the way the CBN injects money into the FX markets. And I say that with caution because, yes, we know that for now the CBN is injecting money into the market, but we've still not established a clear policy as to how they are pumping money into the market. So with that being said, manufacturers have sort of established this sense of predictability in injection of Forex. So right now, instead of holding inventory at the usual rates of maybe 180 days or 120 days, these manufacturers are more inclined to be cash long and inventory short, given the interest payments that they have to cover. So instead of holding inventory for 120 days, why don't I take it back 80 days, knowing that, okay, the CBN will still inject money into the forex market, so I'll still have money to, you know, buy forex and buy inventory when I need it, and I still have money to also pay for the high interest rates, because, like I said on Tuesday, Naira liquidity is a huge issue in the markets right now. The OBB and overnights are going to as high as 120, 130. Lending rate is about 27% at the moment right now. So there's a lot of pressure on these manufacturers. So they are using strategic ways to try and to
balance the books, as it
exactly.
were. Again, we've had a lot of currency conversation on Tuesday as
yes.
how the FX impacts what happens with the manufacturers, big and small. But again, it looks like if we don't fix the issue with supply and pricing
yes.
from petrol products,
True.
that will remain, that will keep denting whatever gains we're making in the FX, isn't it?
Exactly. And also, a couple of days back, there was this news report that the arrears for importers of refined oil products has hit a high of $2 billion. So that could also be affecting the amount of refined products we're bringing into the country. Yes, the NNPC at the moment is importing about 90% of the refined products that we use in the market, but these importers also have a role to play in importation of this product. So if the arrears are hitting $2 billion, there's no incentive for them to import at the current. Yes,
the FX is good, but you're not getting paid.
Yes,
so why
exactly.
do I need to bring XYZ volume? And as well, I just bring XY.
And so that affects the supply of diesel we have in the market, affects supply
Perhaps
of fuel.
that's what is beginning to push
yes.
diesel prices back to 180, and that's what you folks have put ahead.